All right, guys, we are back with another one today, and I am getting a lot of questions, and people are asking, Kyle, if you had to start today and you had $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever, right, whatever that number is, how would you allocate it across into a brand new portfolio? And so today, by popular demand, I'm here to answer that question. And I think what we've laid out today, and I'll show you exactly what that is, conservatively can land you a 10x in this upcoming bull run from here, from this price today, right? And there's also some of you guys who are like, Kyle, I want to be a bit more aggressive than that. You know, I'm looking for like a 15x. And some of you guys are out there being, Kyle, I want to degen the F out of this mofo, and I want to make life-changing money in this bull market. And I don't care if I'm going to zero or Valhalla. Let's do it. Let's do it. So guys, I'm going to for 1.5 minutes talk about Bitcoin and the markets right now. If you're watching this show later and the Bitcoin part is irrelevant, just use the timestamps to skip ahead to the portfolio section just for a quick minute, because we always want to talk about the market. So let's look at it. I don't know actually why this Bitcoin, oh, now it's loading. Okay. So as you guys can see, like, it's not a healthy, okay, as you did see, it's not a healthy looking chart. It's a bit scary. However, for me, I still have my long positions open in Bitcoin. Ethereum is crushing me right now. There was some positive Ethereum news. Let's pray for an Ethereum ETF, because that trade is really killing me. Right now, I would not be messing with leverage at all unless you do very low leverage. Obviously, I am extremely bullish in the, even in the medium to long term. I don't know what's going to happen over this week. But we do have some positive news on that one. Everything's been pulling back, right? But with that being said, if you're looking to allocate, if you're looking to buy dips, like, I'm not making a buy the dip show right now. I'm making a, here's how, I guess I am, right? Like, because, but I also want you guys to know that, we will continue to update the portfolio as we go along. We'll make it transparent. I'll be posting out my X account. And of course, things are dynamic. And of course, we will be changing. And so we might become more bullish on some things. And so that means we might take some profits in something and reallocate it. We might expand it along the way. And of course, there's a lot of projects coming up that I'm very excited for the launch. I'll tell you about some of those as well. And we might choose to reallocate into those as well. So just real quickly, we had the largest outflow day yesterday from Grayscale ever. It was actually the largest negative, the first net outflow day, I think, this entire time. So basically there was $642 million sold from Grayscale, which was the largest outflow day ever, which leads us at a negative net flow of 154. Not nice to see. However, a piece of bullish news is that Grayscale will be lowering their fees. This is one of our theories about why people are exiting Grayscale, because they're charging like many multiples higher fees than all the other ETFs. So eventually, we all knew that this would have to happen if they want to keep any of the value in ETFs. So this could mean that we potentially start slowing down on the outflows from Grayscale. Let's hope so. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the portfolio. So now I broke this down for you into conservative, aggressive, degen, and of course, you can mix and match as well. But what I did here is I said, like, if I had $10,000 in cash right now, I would certainly get, and this is not financial advice by any means here. Also, full disclaimer here, I am currently invested in almost all of these. Obviously, I'm going to talk to you guys about them because I know them, and obviously I put money into them. But what I'm going to do, I'm not doing this live on the show, but I will, as of the time of recording, I will add all of these into a portfolio on CoinGecko so we can keep track of it. We'll keep track of buys and sells, and I will update you periodically throughout the weeks or as we make plays to this. And we're going to see how quickly we can turn $10,000 into $100,000. I think we can do it a lot quicker. Like I said, we will be dynamic with this. You have to be willing to look at narrative shifts and be quick on the move. So this is literally what I would do right now if at the time of watching this, I would take stablecoin and deploy it into the market. So if you're conservative, and trust me, I have a lot of friends, a lot of people I meet, and they say, Kyle, I know crypto's a big thing. I know we're coming into a bull run, but like I've worked hard for my money for a long time. I've hustled to earn every single dollar, and I am not willing to degen this away on some risky low cap crypto. Please give me a conservative portfolio. I'm totally okay with a 5x, right, over the next 18 months or whatever. So I think we can do better than that. But of course, like you should have Bitcoin in that portfolio, right? And you guys, if you've been watching my channel for a long time or even for a short time, you know how bullish I am on Bitcoin. I think that this 300% return is extremely conservative, but I am one of the more optimistic people, right? I've always been overly optimistic on Bitcoin. But with all the evidence, if you guys have been watching this channel, like I'm guessing that you maybe agree with me on just how insane this Bitcoin is about to be. I love Bitcoin as an asset class. I will never sell my Bitcoin, but it is likely to be outperformed on an ROI basis in this cycle. And we will talk about that more in other videos about how maybe what you might want to do. You know, you might want to, start with more degenerate stuff. And then you might want to, then we might be taking profits as we get closer, more into the bull market, and we taking profits into something like Bitcoin or Solana or ETH or whatever. So we have Bitcoin as a proof of work protocol, as the kingmaker. You got Solana, which of course, if you've been watching this channel, we've been super bullish since 20 bucks. It's, now there's a bit of a pullback, which is great if you're looking to get in now. And I do think that it's like, no one thought, for example, that, that anyone would disrupt MySpace, right? But then Facebook did. And then no one thought anyone would disrupt Facebook, but then eventually Twitter did. And then no one thought they could grow, then TikTok came along. So it takes time, and Yahoo by Google, right? And now Google, maybe by OpenAI, who knows? But eventually, not always, sometimes the first mover wins, and oftentimes in technology, someone gets to learn from the first iteration of something and improve upon it, and then that becomes a big thing. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Solana eventually ends up flipping Ethereum. And for that reason, I think that 500% return from today's price is realistic. Now, Avalanche is also a very, and I put it under the gaming ecosystem because I think that's what's going to lead attention on Avalanche. They're also doing real world assets, but you have some of the most bullish things happening in the Avalanche ecosystem. Like, you guys know I'm extremely bullish on Gunzilla and their game Off the Grid and their chain guns, right? Which is an Avalanche subnet. You've got Shrapnel, which is an Avalanche subnet. I've talked to other AAA games using Avalanche subnets. So I think that if any of these games become extremely popular, and remember, Gunzilla is going to be, Off the Grid is launching on PlayStation and Xbox and mobile and PC and like massive budget, big distribution, and there's a lot more that I can't tell you guys. Gives me reason, and if that happens, then every other game is going to look at what's going on, and they're going to do the same thing. They're also going to build Avalanche subnets. So a 10x from here, it could be extremely realistic, but regardless if that happens or not, Avalanche is still a dominant narrative, and for a lot of good reasons. And so for that, we include it in our conservative portfolio. Now, memes are never a conservative thing, but I feel more comfortable allocating into memes, even in a conservative portfolio. We've seen Franklin Templeton, institutional, Mechanism Capital, institutional, putting money and allocating their investors' capital into memes, and I think it has the most upside. And for me, you'll notice here, I don't even have, personally, Dogecoin or Shiba on this list. And maybe that's something you might want to consider, right? If you like Dogecoin, I would say, okay, so if I'm really being honest here, like in the conservative section, that I'm rethinking it, but maybe you split, maybe you add Dogecoin in there, or maybe it is Dogecoin here in this meme section, right? But it's not going to do this kind of returns, right? Not 33. It'll probably do less. But At the same time, Elon is continuing to shill it. It could definitely be integrated into X. We know it likely will, but also probably other things will. We know from yesterday's video, he was also showing dogs with hats. So, my thesis is that Pepe and WIF are going to be the dominant meme coins, and they're going to actually run, in my opinion, to $100 billion this bull run. So that's why it's included here. Now, when it comes down to artificial intelligence / DePIN, two of the hottest narratives, I'm still picking AIOZ. Why? Well, I talked about it in my video yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. But essentially, you have a team, an insanely talented team, who's been building something since 2018 or earlier even, who has been focusing on building a product that really adds value. And because they've been focusing on building, they haven't been focusing on marketing. And people haven't been noticing, right? But I know now that they are actually starting to put some effort and money into marketing and to show off what they got. It's time for AIOZ to build a community, and I'm helping them out. So personally, I'm involved with this, and that's why I'm so bullish on it, and that's why I also can put it in a blue chip conservative with potential large upside. Now, a 10x, it's sitting at right now like $850 million valuation, right? Which is way less. Like Tau is like 14 billion, renders way like, so I think that it's a 10x from here is realistic. And so aggregate, and then of course, for me, obviously, this is what I would do with mine and how I'm building my portfolio right now. I'm actually going to go do these things. I'm also in a conservative thing because like paid launchpad, that is my launchpad. Full disclosure, as you can see, I'm not allowed to legally speculate on price. SEC say no speculation, and then aggregate returns here, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk about it. So even without the $1,000 allocated and whatever that might do, we're not going to make assumptions about the price of a token, especially my own, on this channel. So without that, though, we still have a nice 13x on that $10,000 investment. Aggressive. So I've been hearing a lot about Phantom. Andre Cognier, if you don't know who he is, he's like the DeFi legend, the insane coder. He's back. He made a tweet recently about Phantom, and they're doing 10,000 transactions on mainnet right now. Hyper scalable, big budget, good community. You're starting to see the meme coin game pick up there. So for that reason, it's quite undervalued in my opinion. I've recently deployed capital into Phantom. This is new for me once I found the evolving narrative. And for that reason, it is here in the layer one of a more aggressive portfolio for bigger gains. Now, and I will share this sheet also down in the description. You can click on it. You can check it out. Now, when it comes down to gaming right now, Echelon Prime, I don't have this yet. I'm going to buy some in this portfolio. But I put it here because there's big ambitious plans. And we all know that crypto comes down to marketing, and it's combining AI and the game that's supposed to release in 2025 called KOII, and it's a Solana narrative. So you have all of these kind of right narratives that with the right marketing could lead to a continued pump on speculation of this thing actually being successful. And the game could launch also in the bull run, and it may even far surpass what this is here. Now, again, Pepe and WIF on memes, and these are the dollar amounts I would allocate as well. Again, not financial advice. You guys do whatever you want to do here. This is all just speculation. Again, it's dynamic. We will be updating this on a regular basis. And of course, AIOZ is included again on my aggressive one. I just can't be more bullish there on when it comes to artificial intelligence and also DePIN. It is really a DePIN and AI play and layer one blockchain, Cosmos ecosystem, interoperability, EVM. So, and already have customers and are onboarding big partnerships, right? And of course, Launchpad. Now, I mention paid all the time because it's the one I'm the most confident in. Why? Because I'm the one building it. I'm the one who's in charge of it. I'm the one who's bringing deal flow to it. I'm the one who designed the token economy, which is by far the best economic model I've ever seen in anything. And we are doing an AMA on Thursday for anyone who wants to tune in and listen to that. And when I talk to founders right now of projects, they love the perspective that I bring about shifting the dynamic about the way that founders, essentially go to market, the way that they prepare their war chest, prepare their treasury. And we've enabled, we've basically been able to scale the Launchpad to massively increase the way that this protocol generates revenue with 100% circular token economy, where all that revenue generated stays within the token protocol. We'll get into that more on the AMA, and we'll get in with documents released on that in a bit as well, like next week or whatever. And obviously, but again, SEC, no speculation. Now, Degen portfolio, Nibiru is something we've invested into recently launched. Now, the reason it's Degen is because it has potentially a lot of upside, but they still have a lot to prove. Now, the reason that we invested in Nibiru from a fund perspective is because in their testnet, they actually were outperforming Say, right? And now Nibiru launched, there's not a whole lot of attention around it, but remember, when Say launched, for a long time, everyone thought it was dead, and then bam, explosion. When Injective launched it, boom, everyone thought it was dead, and then explosion, right? So these guys need, and the reason it's in the Degen portfolio is because it needs time. They need time to build the ecosystem and prove themselves. And if they're able to do that, build a community, you got a rocket ship to the moon, baby. And so gaming on the Degen portfolio, remember, these are all tokens that you can buy on the open market now. You've got Aether Games. I told you guys when we launched on Paid Network, the partnership with Wheel of Time, massive. These guys are the insanely great game studio, right? And you get exposure to the whole studio, which is what I like to see. You've also got Shrapnel and Cornucopias. Now, Shrapnel I haven't bought. It's been very, very hyped up. A lot of people behind it. But I do hold big bags of Cornucopias. I think that this is potentially one of the biggest upsides. When you see the game graphics, the game storyline, everything is just insane. I'm hyper bullish. I hardly sell these tokens ever at all, just when I need a little bit of something. But I think Cornucopias is probably one of the most undervalued, overlooked projects. And when it's time to turn it up, I think people are going to be blown away. Again, Whiff and Pepe, obviously, and again, Paid Network as a launch pad. And so these are the dollar amounts I would allocate to each of them. And so you can see on the conservative one, we're looking at turning this into $130,000 as a target. On the more aggressive one, $180,000. And remember, these are all without whatever Paid does that I can't talk about. And the more aggressive or Degen one is $228,000 or 22.8x, again, without Paid included in there. And just projects that and the reason that we'll be updating you guys on a regular basis is because there's a lot of projects that we've invested into that are launching quite soon that I can't wait to come out. One of them is Gunzilla and Off the Grid. You guys know I talk about that a lot. From an AI perspective, you've got GPUNet or IONET, which is also I forget which the name it is, but and then so this is kind of both. Also from Degen, you guys know KOII Network. KOII Network I'm super bullish on because KOII Network, essentially a team of brilliant guys that forked Solana. So if you're bullish Solana, you have to be bullish KOII Network because all SLP tokens that work on Solana natively work on KOII as well. KOII will be it's basically Solana, but modified for Degen. You guys know Degen is a huge evolving narrative. You can do decentralized compute for AI and all these things. When it comes down to, so can't wait for KOII Network to come out. Go check it out, guys. Analog, when it comes to a layer 0 interoperability that might rival things like Axelar or CCIP or any type of multi-chain interoperability solution that can connect all chains in a meaningful way. Analog is my most bullish bet. Also, due to launch this year, and I'm expecting this to be big. And then we have the BTC ecosystem. So TAP protocol, obviously huge coming up. Bitfinity, also really excited about that. And then Runes terminal as well. As you guys know, the guy who created inscriptions and ordinals is now creating Runes as well. And of course, decentralized VC is Commonwealth. Now there's a lot more guys that I can't talk about yet, but I'm very bullish on, very excited for. So you got to make sure that you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date because the market moves at the speed of light. Any of this could change at any minute. And as new projects launch, We might be rotating things, but make sure you're on the journey along with us, and we will do our best to hit these numbers as soon as possible. And who knows, we might be able to 2, 3, 4, 5x what these come out to be, because I expect this to be the most bullish super cycle we have ever seen in a lifetime opportunity to make generational wealth. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.